Hi and welcome to In the Chair. I'm Brenton Garen, your Executive Editor of Westside today. I'm joined by Jeffrey Kahane, who is the Music Director of the Los Angeles Chamber Orchestra. Jeffrey, thanks for joining us today.
It's my pleasure. Happy to be here.
The 2014-15 season is your 18th as Music Director and LACO's 46th. Can you share what you love so much about this orchestra?
Well, this orchestra is incredibly important to me, not only because of what it is in the present, but because of its role in my own musical development. I grew up here in Los Angeles, and I actually attended some of the very first concerts this orchestra played when they played their first concerts in the late 1960s under Sir Neville Marriner. So I knew the orchestra as an audience member growing up. It's a remarkable bunch of people. I think it's a very unusual institution artistically in that there's a tremendous feeling of family and affection.
It was recently announced that you will retire after your 20th season with the orchestra. Can you share a little bit about that decision?
Well, it was a decision that I thought about for a long time. Obviously, when one is a music director, one has to recognize things can't go on forever. It's not good for the institution. It's not good for a person personally to keep doing the same thing over and over again. It was difficult, but I knew several years ago that it was the right thing to do for me and for the musicians. And the wonderful thing is that I'm going out on an immensely positive note in many ways. Not only is my relationship with the orchestra musically and personally very positive, but the orchestra is in really good shape.
Can you talk a little bit about how the orchestra has evolved, and obviously the number of programs that you offer each year has increased?
Like many orchestras, the LA Chamber Orchestra had gone through a very rough patch in the 1980s and early 90s. Economically, orchestras were often struggling. Because of the sort of combined spirit of the staff, the board, and the musicians, and myself, we were able to achieve some really extraordinary things over the last 18 years, including taking the orchestra to Carnegie Hall, taking the orchestra on a European tour. These were things that when I first started with the orchestra 18 years ago, no one would have believed possible.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in 15 seconds after this message from our sponsor.
At Santa Monica Hybrid, we service and repair all hybrid and electric vehicles. Our exclusive technology will recondition your battery up to 95% of its original capacity, saving you money and reducing toxic waste. Santa Monica Hybrid is your alternative to battery replacement.
With the 2014-15 season getting underway last weekend, can you share some of the highlights that lay ahead?
Once a year we go back to our former home, the Ambassador Auditorium in Pasadena, one of the most beautiful concert halls in America, for a special concert we call our Discover concert, where I explore a piece of music. We devote an entire evening to a single piece. This year we'll be doing the Mozart Requiem, which I'll be talking about for the audience, and with live examples with the orchestra on stage. Then we do a complete performance, and we'll be joined by the great LA Master Chorale.
For those who aren't too familiar with the orchestra, can you share a little about where their current homes are?
We have two main homes. One is the Alex Theater in Glendale, where we play on Saturday nights, and then at Royce Hall at UCLA, where we play on Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. We also have a Baroque series downtown at beautiful Zipper Hall at the Colburn School of Music, which is just diagonally across from Disney Hall. And we have a series in Santa Monica at the new Rhodes School called Westside Connections.
And then when your tenure does come to an end in 3 years, do you sort of have any plans of what you'll be up to?
First of all, I'm happy to say I will continue my relationship with the orchestra. I'll only be here once a season, but it's wonderful to know that that relationship will continue. I'm here probably 8 or 9 weeks out of the year, and the rest of the year I tour and perform as a guest conductor or a piano soloist, or very often both. So I'm traveling all over the country. I don't anticipate that will change. I don't have any plans at the moment to seek another position as a music director. I've been a music director of 3 orchestras over 20 years now, and in a way I'm looking forward to seeing what life is like without having that responsibility, because it is an enormous amount of responsibility. It's a tremendous amount of work. It's very gratifying, but it's also stressful, and it'll be nice to see what it feels like.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate your time.
It's my great pleasure. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
No problem. We'll be back next week, so don't forget to check out westsidetoday.com to see who's in the chair. I'm Brenton Garen for Westside TV.